Well, hello, folks. Welcome once again. It is another Wednesday, and we are going to be ranking yet another puzzle game for the Game Boy. We have a list, currently 56 games on here, all the way down at the bottom with Godzilla. It's going to be a tough one to beat. And then all the way up here at number 1, we have Tetris, also going to be a tough one to beat. And this week we're playing a game I really don't know where this is going to land. In fact, I really don't know how to pronounce the name. This is Peke to Poko no Daruman Busters. Yeah, I don't have a lot of information about this. Never really played it. Obviously, you can tell by the name, it didn't quite didn't make it to our shores. So this is either Japan exclusive or anyway. Let's jump on in here. Birthday and Band Presto. And you press the start button and the little characters jump down and dance. And that thing is a Daruman. I don't really know anything about them, but I recognize them from other video games. Looks like he kidnapped the lady. Again, over here we set our speed. Get our music. Skip, Hopen, and Tripey. It's supposed to be Trippy, but they don't have enough letters. And over here we can go from one level. Yeah, so. You win. Challenge next round. What's interesting about this is, on the face of it, this kind of reminds me of Sanrio Carnival 2. Maybe a little more intuitive than that. Admittedly, I'm getting a bit confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, obviously the point is to get the Daruman to hit the bottom of the play field. Oh, now there's two of them. So you up and down moves the little guys on the side here. Then which one kicks blocks into the play field depends on whether you press the A or B button. Okay. I hit that guy with a missile. Not clear what it did. So have to like hit the matches from the side and then they combo? Okay, there's a time limit. Oh, and he runs to the other side. Okay, let's see if we can try to sort of get a clearer understanding. Oop. Yeah, so there is... I mean, obviously this isn't arbitrary. There is a kind of a confusing logic to the way this operates. I struggle to fully grasp it. Maybe I'm supposed to try and kind of bait him into... Yeah, if he... So I think they move on to whatever happens to be the tallest stack. So if I hit this... Okay, yeah, so sometimes the blocks pop up from the top, and if that raises the stack of a certain I just kind of feel like sometimes the game just won't give you what you need. And when that happens, it's... I don't know. Okay, so we can... Yeah, if we just hit the button right away. It sort of makes me wonder if this is the case where I really ought to be sort of taking note of kind of the initial stack. More than anything else, I'm just having a really difficult time predicting what's gonna happen when I kick the blocks. Like I'm sure the rules are actually very consistent, but a little hard to follow in real time. Is the timer running out already? Yeah, game, I don't know what you expect me to do here. You know, I feel like a little bit more time wouldn't be that big an ask. Oh, that also counts? Okay. Now we know. What is... What... Was that random, or did I cause that to happen somehow? Oh, he's doing it again. The timer is still going. This feels like a bit much. Yeah, you know, like this kind of on top of everything else. I guess we can interrupt him if we make him jump? Oh, now there's 3 colors. Okay. So that explains what the level progression is going to be all about. Okay, so it looks like I had infinite time for that first stage. How? On top of everything else, you like try to set up a move, and then like the stack rises, and Your move is suddenly useless. Well, that did stuff. Oh, wait! They fall through him? That might make this doable. Okay. So, I mean, not yet. Get how making him sit still is supposed to make this easier. It doesn't. Time I think I've got the strategy, it turns out not to be as helpful as I thought. Seems like anytime I start to feel like I got a handle on what I'm supposed to be doing, it just stops working? Or just the game throws some kind of wrench into the situation. It's just kind of exhausting, to be honest. Like, I'm mostly just confused and tired playing this. I don't... Well, let's see what it looks like if we go all the way to 7-1. And yeah, that's what I figured. There's just a whole bunch of different colors and patterns. What? This is on speed low, which I assume is how the game views me at the moment. Let's go back to level 1-1. Try to apply what we've learned here. Yeah, so, like, what do you do now? Yes, game, I get that the timer is running out, but what exactly do you want me to do about it? See, like, it's... The game clearly expects me to be able to do stuff like that more often. But, like, figuring out how to set it up while everything's going on at once, like, it's a lot. And then it starts cutting the timer, so... On top of everything else, now we don't have as much time. And he does this. So we have less time, and he's wasting a whole bunch of it. Like, I suppose... I can't really say I'm not frustrated. Like, you can probably see it on my face. But, like, more than anything else, I'm just kind of exhausted. It's just... There's this little click that happens on that transition screen that I severely dislike. Again, at this... I don't know what... Like, what does the game think I'm able to do right now? At least the stage with no time limit isn't as bad. that freezes him, and I have no idea how to capitalize on that. And it just feels like every now and then the game just kind of has mercy on me and gives me whatever I need in order to move forward. I just give up. Before we really get into it, I am going to say this is still better than Sanrio Carnival 2. It's very much built on the same idea. I think it's a little more fleshed out here. I think it does, like, the absolute basics make a little more sense. Everything else makes just as little sense. This is... This is sort of a thing that has been definitely recurring throughout this particular series. The puzzle game that is just a little too mechanically dense to keep up with. And it just feels like there's an idea here, and then there's like almost too much stuff grafted onto it. Like even though like I'm done playing, but I'm still just kind of tired. Like just engaging with the game at all just demanded an unusual amount of mental energy that for a game that was maybe a little slower and not as well, no, if it was just slower, if this was a game that you played entirely at your own pace instead of being rushed, then maybe there could be something here that you could just kind of relax and sort of chip away at it and gradually kind of learn the moves. There's something in my teeth. Yeah, a little piece of ham or something. A bit of a chip or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it really does have all the same problems as Sanrio Carnival 2. But like I said, it's not as I if I sat with this for like yeah, even as I'm saying it, like man, there is the rub. Like there are complicated puzzle games. Like it's not unusual for that to happen, and usually you just kind of have to sit with them for a while and learn the intricacies. This feels like a game that it's it's kind of on top of you too fast for that to happen. You don't get to learn the intricacies. The whole time I was playing it, I was just kind of struggling to keep up with the very basics of the game. And so even though there were things like if you cleared a block in the middle of a stack of similar colored blocks, then the other ones would fall down and like the whole stack would clear. And theoretically, there could be a way to push blocks into place to set that up to happen. But good luck. Like just the amount of things that you have to keep track of while you're trying to do that. And then you've got this guy hopping around and he kind of blocks your moves. And you don't want him to hit the top of the screen. But if you don't set up the bottom of the screen correctly, then you're just stuck. So, yeah. It's better than Sanrio Carnival, but it's still not as good as Cool Ball. So we really are looking in exactly this range. Does it go immediately above Sanrio Carnival? Does it go above Dexterity? At some point I'm going to have to replay a few of these to figure out what's what. Is it better or worse than the Game of Harmony? It's worse than the game of Harmony. Where does it sit relative to Dexterity? Now, Dexterity was a different beast. That was, well, not an entirely different beast. That was, in some ways, you could argue that was another like kind of plate spinning situation where you had to kind of move. This is not as good as Dexterity. So it does, in fact, go directly above. And we're going to see if we can make the title fit or if we're going to have to... Poko, no... Oh, it just fits. Right on. And so congratulations to Peke to Poko no Daruman Busters for making it just barely into the top 50, even though you're probably going to drop out next week. And that's going to be me for this evening. So I will be back tomorrow night with live improvised music. I'll be back on Saturday night with music production. I will be back on Monday to play Master of the Monster whatever. And also Dirt 2 for the Nintendo DS. So that's going to be our new game. I think I'm going to have some fun with that. And then Tuesday we're going to play some more Etrian Odyssey. I've already gained a few levels trying to do that 5-day challenge. And that one might actually be... Well, we'll see. Yeah, and then, of course, this week, this day, this time minus an hour next week. Did I say minus an hour next week? We will be back with yet another puzzle game to play for the Game Boy. Until then, thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And as always, I do hope to see you next time. So bye for now.